Everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to discuss about creating a scatter plot. In the last video, we discussed about creating a combined chart, that is a line and a clustered column chart. So now let's talk about the scatter plot. So I will simply click here on plus icon and it will create a new page for us. I'll simply double click on this page and we'll rename it as scatter plot. All right. So now in order to create a scatter chart, I will simply click here on scatter chart icon under this visualizations pane, and you can see that it has created a blank scatter plot for us. I will further resize it. All right. So now let's say I want to show the relationship between the profit and sales field. So again, whenever there are situations where we want to show relationship between two numerical quantities, we prefer using or creating a scatter plot. Now I will just simply double click on the sales field under the data pane and will drop it here in x-axis bucket. Similarly, I will double click on the profit field under the data pane and will drop it here in y-axis bucket. So now you can see that only one point is represented on this scatter plot, and when I will hover the mouse over this area, over this particular bubble, you will see that sum of sales and sum of profit is being represented. So sales is being represented along the horizontal axis, while your profit is being represented along the vertical axis. Now let's say I do not want to summarize the data. I want details of all the individual points. So in that case, under this drop down for sum of sales, I will simply change it to don't summarize. Similarly, under this y-axis, I will change the sum of profit to don't summarize. So now it shows the details for all the points that we have, right? Basically, if you are aware of the coordinate system, then we have an x-axis as x-axis and y-axis. So various points are represented using coordinates. So there's a x coordinate and there's a y coordinate. Same is the situation here in this case as well, right? So we have different x values which are represented along the horizontal axis. X values here, it refers to sales because sales is represented along the horizontal axis. And then we have different y values for all the different x values. So the profit values or the y values are now represented along the vertical axis, as you can see from this chart. Also, for all the points that we have here, we can have either negative profit or positive profit value. This is evident from this chart because if let's say I will hover the mouse over this area, so you can see that there's a positive sales value and positive profit value. But if I'll hover the mouse over this area, so the sales value is positive, but profit is negative, and negative profit indicates loss. So it means that there were instances in the data set or in the data where we have where there was a loss, right? Because the profit value is negative. Also, you can infer one more thing, that most of the points lie in this area, right? So they are highly densely populated in this area. That is your area between, for the sales value between, let's say 0 to 3.8K, right? 0 to 3.8K, or you can say between 0 to 5K, we have most of the points. And then there are other points lying in other regions. And then we have some outliers as well, which have some odd sales values and profit values as well, right? And those odd profit and profit values are both negative and positive. So this is a scatter plot and we can create it in this way. Now let's further talk about formatting this scatter plot. So first of all, let's select this scatter plot. Having this scatter plot selected, I will just simply click here on format your visual. Let's say again, first of all, I want to add a border. So under this general, under this effects, I'll change this border to on. And I will maybe keep it light gray this time. All right. Also, again, we do not want the grid lines to be there. As of now, you can see vertical and horizontal grid lines added to the chart by default. So I will further expand this grid lines. I'll change the horizontal and vertical both to off. All right. And let's say we want to format the markers or the bubbles that you can see on the screen so far. So under this markers, I will simply change, let's say these. First of all, you can change the type. Let's say you want to keep it a triangle. So in place of bubble, you can use a triangle as well. And let's say if you want to change the style, so in place of fill only, we can have border only, right? So now you can see that these triangles are not filled, but they are having border only. Also, you can change the size of these triangles according to your convenience and need. And you can change the color as well from here. So let's say we want to change the color and we want to keep it purple. All right. So that's how you can format this chart. Let's say we also want to format the values and title written along the horizontal axis and the vertical axis. So having this chart selected, I will simply click on format your visual. Let's say if I want to talk about x-axis or the horizontal axis. So under this titles, we can change the font style Let's keep it Times New Roman. Let's keep it bold. And let's increase the size. Similarly, for the values being represented along the x-axis, we can change the format. So let's keep it bold, italic maybe. And let's keep it Times New Roman. Let's keep it black. And you can further increase the size. You can choose a different font style according to your choice. Let's do the same thing to the values in the title represented along the y-axis. So under this y-axis, for this values, let's change it to black. Increase the size. Let's keep it italic and bold. Similarly, for the title being represented along the vertical axis, let's keep it bold, italic. Let's increase the size. And it's already black. Maybe you can choose some other font style. All right. So that's how we can format it. Also, let's say we want to change the title. So I will simply click on Format Your Visual, General. And under this title, let's say in place of sales and profit, I want to write sales versus profit. So we can write sales versus profit. We can further change the font style from here. Let's keep it Cosmic Sans. And we can keep it bold, maybe italic, underlined. And we can further increase the size. And maybe we can keep it centered, right? You can choose a different style, different format, different size according to your convenience and need, right? So that's how we can create a scatter plot. Maybe for this scatter plot, let's say, we want to see that how the values changed over a period of time, and for different dates, how the values changed, right? Or how the sales and profit value changed basically. So first of all, for that purpose, we will have to define some summarization for the sales and profit data. As of now, we have not summarized the data. We are simply representing all the data points. Since we chose don't summarize option under this drop down. But now let's say we want to represent the sum. So I will select sum for sales. For profit as well, I want the sum. So I will select sum here as well. Now you can see that only a single point is available here. And now let's say with respect to the order date or the change in order date, we want to know about how the sum of sales changed with respect to sum of profit. So I will just simply double click on order date field under this data pane and will drag and drop it here in play axis bucket. And now here you can see that there's a play axis which is available. If I will click here on this play button, you can see that the dates are changing and this triangle is also moving because it is representing the different coordinates that represent different sum values for sales and profit field. So yes, that's how it is changing, right? So this is something that can be shown here again through this scatter plot. And I hope this video was helpful. We'll meet in the next session. Till then, thank you. Bye-bye.